Well, I was raised on a little farm in Winnebago, Illinois. My parents were believers. They were both saved when they got married, and as they brought us up, we were raised in a Christian home, and it was like most Christians that grow up in a Christian home, it wasn't my personal walk with the Lord. It was just, we kind of went to church on Sunday. We prayed before we ate, and that was pretty much my upbringing as far as my faith. So I was a senior in high school, and I remember my mom complaining about headaches, and the doctor would tell her just keep taking, lots of pain meds and just kind of pushing it, kind of like it's not a big deal. And then one night, my mom and dad said, we're gonna be at the hospital, we'll be back. And when they came home from the hospital, my mom had an MRI, and that was the night that they found the tumor. She was diagnosed with brain cancer. But then I didn't really know what it meant, just knew that I was serious and that my dad was crying, my mom was crying. And I remember the night that it happened, we were at my grandma's house and my mom was at home with a caregiver, and she was just reading the Bible to my mom. And just kind of that night, she was so peaceful and she was ready. No more pain, no more suffering. But, as a Christian, you're always led to the last minute, God can heal her, God can heal her, I miss her joy. I miss just her, presence. When she'd walk into a room, she would light up the whole room. I miss her being a grandma to my boys. Just miss asking her questions about life and marriage and just being able to hang out with her and be her friend. After she had actually passed away, God really took a hold of my heart, and I was so mad at him, I was so angry. And yet he was able to use that and draw me closer to him, which some people get pushed away when huge dramatic things like that happen. But with this, I felt drawn to him, and my relationship just started blossoming, and I just started seeking him, and I think he was just drawing me closer and closer. And it was that moment that she passed away that I started really looking around and saying, why are we here? What is this life for? Why do we exist? Is it to have self-pleasures and go to work and buy things and go to eat? Or is it bigger than that? And that is when God really started grabbing hold of my life and letting me as a 23-year-old look around and be like, why are we here? What is the purpose of being here on earth, In that season of drawing me, I felt, which is so weird, but I felt this impression to go on a missions trip. And so I gave up my job. I ended up going on this 1.5-month long missions trip, and I was asked questions before I went on the trip if I could tell a junior high Chinese student about Jesus, what would that look like? To actually bring someone from point A to point B, to have a relationship with Christ. I've never done that before. I remember speaking to a couple of junior high students and just sharing them about Jesus, not really having all the words or not knowing really what to say, but just having that joy and speaking to them about what I knew, the little tidbits of information about Jesus and who he is and what he did for us and how he died on the cross and how we can live with him forever. And just seeing the joy on their faces, I was just like, this is what we're here for. And I remember walking away from that just thinking, God, this is what we're here for. And I want to know more about you so that I can share who you are and know who you are and know how to share. And it was that experience that changed my life and really allowed me to have a personal relationship with the Lord. Without my mom's passing away, my life wouldn't have dramatically changed and dramatically opened my eyes to why we're here on earth and what this earth is for and why it's so short and such a small time that we're here, that it just really opened my eyes to not living for myself anymore and really the bigger picture of, as believers, why we're here, and to give people hope when they have trials, and to give them, to let them see your testimony, to let them see how did you endure after such a huge trial as your mom passing, and without those trials and those times in your life, you're not able to help bring people along who are in the thick of it, because you kind of have to go through an experience like that to be able to bring someone along and let them know that God's there and He's with you and He's gonna get you through, and you're gonna see them one day when you go to heaven, and it just kind of allow them to understand that there is a reason and a purpose for all of this, even though it doesn't make sense and it doesn't, at the time seem like it's fair, or why would God do this? But He does. He has a plan and a purpose for all of it, and I think that's kind of how God gets the glory, is watching someone who goes through a trial, goes through a tribulation, and seeing them rise up and continue on in the journey of faith, and knowing that you kept the faith through it all, through all the craziness of life, and all the things coming at you, and doubts and questions, knowing that He's a good God, and knowing that through it all, He will receive the glory because of your life as a believer continuing on in the faith.